It will happen on the 14th of August, 8 a.m. The moon reaches Chiron. Chiron represents health, all right? I repeat that all the time. Every time I talk about Chiron, I explain this. But sometimes the configurations involving Chiron, which are triggered by the arrival of the moon, are not so good. This time, there is a trine with the sun. And the sun is life, right? The sun represents our vital force. So, in harmony with Chiron that represents health, triggered by the moon, it must indicate that if needed, we will find a solution, or there will be a great potential to make things better for ourselves or for someone else. In any case, Chiron represents health, but it's not necessarily health as such once more. There are here two false aspects. They're what we call squares, 90-degree angles or abouts. So it's a bit more here than 90 degrees, a bit less, sorry, than 90 degrees, and here it's a bit more than 90 degrees, but still. These are false aspects because the planets involved are not in signs forming what we call a square, because between Aquarius and Aries, air and fire, there is a sextile, not a square. And between Aries and Leo, there is a trine, which is a very positive aspect, not a square. But the computer has drawn two false squares. False squares are actually sextiles disguised in squares. So we may consider them or see them as threatening us, because if we consider Chiron square Pluto, it indicates that we may feel quite destabilized and very uncomfortable health-wise due to some situation that we actually dread, we are afraid of. You know, we are scared of something that would be actually not true. So that will stem from our imagination or from whatever we can read about what we feel and the symptoms that we recognize and so on. And the same about Mercury, because Mercury represents our brain, so our brains is going to disguise itself in a negative type of thinking. Whereas if both aspects are considered as sextiles, they show a great potential to regenerate. So maybe to regenerate, we will need to confront ourselves to the reality of whatever we are going through on that particular day. The moon is going to leave the sign Aries quite quickly. It's at 26:49 here, which is almost 27. Actually, Chiron is at 27 degrees. So it leaves about 3 degrees to change sign, which represents 6 hours. So that means that around 2 in the afternoon, the moon will transit in Taurus, and the configurations are going to somehow become much less preoccupying. But still, on the 14th of August, and that will begin much earlier than 8 in the morning, you may feel uncomfortable. But rely on your willpower, which is represented by the sun. Rely on your life force and call on that life force to deal with what you feel or believe to be threatening, because in actual fact, it will most probably be much more up here than anywhere else. You know what I mean? It's what you're going to think, to believe, that will make the difference. So think and believe in a very positive manner, and you will sort of diffuse the bomb, and you will be, you'll keep away from trouble, for sure. So the next transit I want to tell you about is when the moon transiting through Taurus forms an opposition with Vesta and the black moon.